I came down through the trapdoor where the clean internet ends, past the neon lies and the dead drop doors, into a place where every handle wears a mask and every mask has a price. The alleys were wet with stolen passwords, the walls were papered with victim names. Somewhere in the black market fog, a broker was selling the keys to a hospital, a school district, maybe a factory floor that would wake up tomorrow with its machines gone quiet. This week's file came with a catch, the kind that makes a gumshoe check the lock twice. I cannot verify live events from August 8 through August 15, 2026 from this room. No live web, no dark web feed, no fresh leak site crawl, and a detective who invents bodies just to fill the morgue is no detective at all. So tonight I'm reporting the truth from the shadows I know, the pattern of the racket, the gangs with blood on their ledgers, the methods that keep coming back like a bad debt. If you brought me fresh posts, I would pin them to the board. Without them, I give you the map of the district and the names on the wanted wall. The ransomware trade did not become dangerous because one crew got clever. It became dangerous because the business model hardened. Lockbit showed the world how a ransomware as a service syndicate could scale like a bootleg empire. Affiliates doing the break-ins, core operators running the brand, the leak site, the builder, and the negotiation desk. Even after law enforcement hit Lockbit and Operation Kronos in 2024, seizing infrastructure and exposing pieces of the operation, the lesson remained. Take down a sign over the door, and the men inside rent another room. The big crews by reputation all work the same filthy angles with their own signatures. Play ransomware has leaned into opportunistic intrusion and double extortion, hitting public sector, manufacturing, legal, and managed service victims. Akira made noise with VMware ESXi encryption and Linux variants, the kind of work that tells you they know where the modern server room keeps its spine. Blacksuit, carrying the stink of royal and Conti lineage in public reporting, has been tied to high-pressure extortion and major disruption. Ransom Hub emerged in 2024 after the ALPHV, also known as Black Cat, collapse, offering displaced affiliates a fresh counter and a new back office. That is how this underworld breathes. One brand burns, another one opens before the ashes cool. Their favorite doors are not mysterious. They like edge devices because edge devices sit where the street meets the building. Fortinet, Citrix NetScaler, Ivanti Connect Secure, Palo Alto Global Protect, Sonic Wall, and exposed remote management panels have all been prized targets when bugs go hot or credentials leak. The old movie at Transfer Mass Exploitation by KioEp in 2023 proved the value of managed file transfer systems as a goldmine for data theft without always needing encryption. KioEp used exploitation at scale, then turned the stolen files into leverage. That was not just a caper, it was netridge. That was not just a caper. Ivan debt. When the crews do not pry open a zero-day window, they buy a key from an initial access broker. Those brokers haunt forums and private channels, selling VPN access, RDP footholds, Citrix sessions, domain user accounts, and sometimes domain admin like it is jewelry in a pawn shop window. The listing language is cold and plain. Revenue. Country. Behind that doorway, an affiliate can bring Cobalt Strike, Sliver, Brute Ratel, AnyDesk, Atera, Screen Connect, or a quiet PowerShell loader and start making the place their own. Once inside, the playbook is familiar enough to be sickening. Recon with NLTest, NetView, AdFind, Bloodhound, SharpHound, or built-in Windows tools, credential theft with Mimikatz, LSASS dumping, CommsVSS abuse, ProcDump, or newer tradecraft that avoids noisy signatures. Lateral movement by RDP, SEX, WMI, SMB, or remote admin tools that look legitimate until they are not. Data theft through rclone, Mega, FileZilla, WinSCP, or custom exfiltration tools. Then the lights go out. ESXi hosts locked, backups deleted or poisoned, shadow copies gone, a ransom note left behind like a cigarette burn on a desk. The underground itself is changing but not getting cleaner. After the takedowns and seizures, crews learn to compartmentalize harder. Forums rise and fall. Genesis Market was taken down in 2023, but the Steeler log economy kept walking. Breach forums has been disrupted more than once, but the appetite for stolen databases, combo lists, session cookies, and corporate SSO tokens never went hungry. Redline, Raccoon, Vidar, Llama, and other info stealers turned ordinary infected home machines into credential wells. A single browser profile can hold VPN logins, Okta sessions, cloud tokens, saved passwords, and cookies good enough to walk past a front desk without tipping a hat. That stealer market may be the ugliest engine in the district. It feeds everything. A contractor gets infected installing a cracked tool, a help desk worker loses browser cookies, a developer stores a cloud token in the wrong place. Hours later, those logs are packaged, tagged, and sold. Initial access brokers comb them for corporate identity portals, VPN domains, GitHub accounts, AWS keys, Microsoft 365 sessions, and remote desktop entries. By the time a defender sees the failed login storm, the good credential may already have worked once. Ransomware as a service affiliates have also grown more selective. The amateur crews still spray phishing lures and hope for a click, but the better operators profile victims before they move. They look for cyber insurance language, public revenue, merger activity, board pressure, and regulatory exposure. Healthcare and education remain frequent targets because downtime hurts fast and budgets are thin. Manufacturing is prized because production stoppage turns minutes into money. Local government is attractive because old infrastructure and limited staff make soft ground. Managed service providers are jackpots because one compromise can become many. The police have not been idle. Operation Kronos against Lockbit was a message in a bottle thrown through the window. The Hive ransomware disruption in 2023 showed that quiet infiltration of gang infrastructure can save victims before the ransom note lands. The ALPHV Black Cat drama around the Change Healthcare attack in 2024 showed another truth, that criminal trust is brittle. Affiliates can be cheated by operators. Operators can fake seizures. Partners can turn on each other when the payout goes missing. In the underworld, loyalty lasts until the escrow clears. The newer rebrands and splinter crews are harder to read because that is the point. Hunters International claimed at one stage to be more about data theft than classic encryption, while public researchers noted overlap and questions around Hive lineage. Keylin, also known as Agenda, has shown cross-platform capability and affiliate-driven targeting. Medusa and INC Ransom have kept pressure through leak sites and timed exposure. These gangs understand media rhythm. A countdown timer is not just a clock, it is a weapon pointed at the victim's boardroom. What it means is simple, and simple things are often the most dangerous. The ransomware scene is no longer just malware. It is an ecosystem of credential theft, access brokerage, vulnerability exploitation, negotiation psychology, public shaming, and money laundering. Encryption is only one act in the show. Some crews will steal first and skip encryption if that gets paid. Others will encrypt ESXi and Windows estates at the same time. The common thread is leverage. They want the thing that makes the victim panic. Defenders should watch the doors, the keys, and the quiet tools. Patch internet-facing systems fast, especially VPN, firewall, MFT, and remote access platforms. Enforce phishing-resistant MFA where possible, especially for administrators, VPN, SSO, and cloud consoles. Hunt for impossible travel, new device enrollment, suspicious OAuth grants, abnormal rclone or mega traffic, and remote access tools installed outside approved channels. Segment networks so one stolen credential does not become a skeleton key. Protect backups with immutability and offline copies, log PowerShell, command line, authentication, EDR alerts, DNS, and outbound data movement. Then test the whole thing like the bad guys already bought a map. Most of all, treat identity as the new perimeter and stealer logs as an early warning siren. Resetting one password is not enough if session tokens, cookies, personal devices, and unmanaged browsers are still bleeding. Monitor dark web exposure when you can, but do not wait for your name to appear on a leak site. By then, the crooks have already had their meeting, priced the pain, and written the note. That is the dispatch from the bad side of the wire. I am Jack Cipher, closing the file for now, collar turned up, walking back into the static where the brokers whisper and the ransom clocks glow red in the dark. The underground never sleeps. It just changes names and waits for someone to leave a door unlocked.